Hello. Welcome, everybody. I'm back. Can you believe it? Finally, it's been a little while, but I'm here. So just making sure that I've got everything turned off and we can go and be running. So here we are. I'm over my illness. Well, certainly a lot better than what I've been. I certainly haven't been 100%. I must admit it knocked me around in a way I've never experienced before. I was so flat, so I want to thank everyone for sending messages, phoning, whatever. Early in the piece I couldn't talk for long because I got so out of breath so quickly. But I made it. I got through it at the other end. I think every time I went to the doctor, the script, he'd give me a new script and it would be double what I had the time before. So first time I went in, I had 1. The second time I came out with 2. The next time I came out with 3, 4. Anyway, I had a lot and I've got over most of it. I still get flat and, but hey, that's life. So anyway, I hope that you've all... Hello, Jacinta. How are you, darling? I hope you've all had some great time crafting. Not so much here. I think I climbed into the craft room yesterday afternoon for the first time just to have an idea of what I plan to do for today. But it's better than nothing. So I hope what I've got planned for today you will like, you will enjoy, and it will be a lot of fun. Are you on a lunch break, Jacinta, or you got Monday off today? I struggle to keep up with where you are at. So for those who are watching the first time, if you see the red live button, you know that I'm live. If not, you're watching the replay on Facebook, but it only keeps it for 30 days and then it deletes it. But you can go to my YouTube channel and I will pop a thing up on my Facebook page so you know where to go and you can go back and have a look at all my past videos that I do put into YouTube after I finished here. You're back in the craft room too. That's a great idea. There's something about being in the craft room that, makes you feel all good. So for those who don't know who I am, my name is Anita Mazzero and I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator in Horsham, Victoria. So I will pop the camera down and we will go and have a look at what's going on and have a chat on our card. So just we'll pop this down and zoom in. Oh, look at this. One day I used to do this pretty good and then they changed it, Typical Facebook. They like to change things around. There we go. I've got it nice and straight. I think I am there. Now, one of the new things that is out is this lovely suite called Brushed with Beauty. And I'm going to show it to you first before I talk about what's going on. Just trying to get my camera and everything nice and straight because it likes to go crooked. I think I've got it right now. So this Brush with Beauty suite is a lovely suite and it's $238. Now you'll notice here I've got the stamps and the dies. Now I did tell you some time ago that there were going to be some changes. All our dies and our stamp sets come in these envelopes, these plastic envelopes. No more are you going to see these hard cases. These will be gone. So any orders from now on, unless they're old stock, all the new stuff will come out like this. So as you can see, it's 2 stamp sets, 2 sets of dies. There's 2 stamp sets. So you're going to save a lot of room in your bookshelf because it'll be easier. They're all exactly the same size, so they're not going to be different sizes. So when you get them, they're in this plastic sleeve. This is the dies. So there's the dies. Still put your magnet sheet on. You can still put them on like you would do normally. So I'll pop that away. So this is part of the Brush with Beauty suite. So that's the dies called Just Because. I think that's the name of it. Words of Beauty. Look at the right thing. And then you get the stamp set. And the stamps are like so. Now I have seen, and I will play with it, and if it works, I will do it and demonstrate it to you, where a demonstrator glued the plastic pieces to it, stamped this on, so that when she opened and closed her set, it was like looking in this where you can see the dies underneath. So I only saw that last night and I thought it looked like a great idea. So that's something I'm thinking of doing there. So as you said, so there's the Words of Beauty, dies and stamps. So there comes this lovely Just Because, 3 layers, and then 3 different size labels, and they all match these beautiful dies. And I like that they're just short, sweet, and just nice ones, because I don't know about you, but I sometimes just like a small sentiment on a card. That looks really good. And then we have the Petals of Beauty stamp set and dies. And you can see here, here's a stamp die set of our old ones, only because I've got these on a magnet sheet that you can see them, but otherwise you wouldn't be able to see them. So at least you can see what you've got on your dies. So this is a 2-step stamping. So it's quite a nice looking set. This arrived while I was sick, not well enough to even think about what to do. It's got a lovely patterned, sort of like a quilting pattern, but it's a beautiful little pattern embossing folder. So that's, it doesn't say 3D, but it feels 3D. So it's quite a thick one. The embellishments, they come in, and it doesn't say. So this, I'd say this looks like it could be Timid Tiger. It could be Strawberry Slush. It's a mixture of those colours. And then you've got your white and you've got what I'd call crumb cake. Then comes the papers. And when I got the papers and I saw this, I thought, oh, it's different. But it's the way they've been packed. So you've got the crumb cake with a vanilla stripe, but then the reverse side is this beautiful hand-painted florals, which I think is just lovely. And you can just see, even putting those 2 pieces together, just how pretty they look. Then you have a, say, Pretty in Pink. And that would be, I look on the back of mine. So if you're even unsure, on the back of your paper, we'll tell you what they are. So that's Calypso Coral, that there. So we've got Darling Duckling. It's Petal Pink, not Pretty in Pink. And you've got your Mossy Meadow. Very camouflage look. Could use that for a mail card. And there's, how pretty do those 2 look together? It's really lovely. There's some Calypso Coral. And I like this brush painted effect. There's the same pattern as our Darling Duckling, but on the crumb cake look, or very vanilla. Here we've got, let's say this is a Lost Lagoon. And again, a nice floral. And aren't the florals lovely? We've got that. And then we've got that. So they're beautiful papers, beautiful pieces there. So very different to what I've seen for a while. And, excuse me, the muted look is actually quite nice, I think. And also in the set, our vellum is making a comeback. We've had vellum before. Well, you're doing the Valentine's Kisses. Oh, I bet that's cute. This is the only one that caught my eye when I ordered it. I just thought this was such a pretty set. So I bought this one, and the fact that the vellum is back. Our vellum used to be A4. It is now 12 by 12. So that is something very different. So why I brought this to show you, even though I'm not using it, Stampin' Up have what they call a craft class. And this has been happening for a little bit now. And this class, you purchase the suite and then you purchase the class. Now, for the class, it's online. It starts at 7 a.m. Australian time, but it's something you can watch later. So it's not as if you have to sit there and watch it live. You can watch the video replay and do it later on. So you get 4 projects for the $53. You get 2 cards, a box, and a scrapbook page. Plus you get heaps of tips and ideas of what to do. And this is such a great idea. They've done one before, and I must admit I didn't do it. I don't know about you, Jacinta. Did you do the previous one, the Traditions of Christmas? But I'm thinking of doing this one because I'm thinking this will be a great idea. So it's on the 21st of November. You have until the 17th of November in which to register so that you'll go and watch it live. But anything after that, you'll be on demand after the 21st. So you can, if you think about it and you decide, no, well, but yes, you can. But so anyway, it's worth thinking about. It is something very different. It's something completely new that Stampin' Up are doing. And I've got no idea what this will be like. And you never did the other one? Yes, I'm curious myself, and maybe I'll give it a go just to see what it's like. So that's that set, which I think is really sweet. Also, November, online exclusives, and look at them. So anyone that would like a copy of this, just pop in the messages that you would like product list, and I will email and message back this list of all the wonderful products that are available now. So you can see there's the complete set of the Brush with Beauty. We then have Hobby Haven, which is another set. We then have bundles with a punch. This is in my list, this friendly foliage. I've got that sitting in my cart. There's some cuties, absolute cuties, Valentine's Kisses. Now, is this the one that you're with, Jacinta, this cute little bears? Because if that's the one, I can't wait to see what you make with it because it is beautiful. So then you've got the cake, which is quite big, which I reckon you could make the cake as a card or a box. It would be really interesting, that one. And then the sweets that have been broken up, and plus the stamp sets that are available. So there's lots to look at. So when you see it like this, it's a lot easier than going through the file. And also, you will be able to purchase the stamp and die organisers in these folders if you wish to transfer your other ones. I don't personally wish to transfer them, but if you want one of these, just send me a message saying product list, November product list, and I will send them through to you so that you can have a go. Right, now, here goes. Let's see what I can do today. So earlier I purchased this beautiful stamp set, very much a standalone, just the word Merry Christmas. It's quite a large stamp, so basically the size of the that you see on the front cover is the size of this particular stamp. And I thought to myself when I popped in here yesterday, I'd like to do something just using this. But then I have this beautiful Delicate Pines stamp set and dies. And look at the dies in that. And this is also a really lovely suite. So my plan is to marry the two suites together and create a card. So I've got a nice little piece of DSP from the paper. Whichever way you go, it looks really pretty. Got some Secret Sea card base, which is 21 centimetres by 14.9, and I have scored this in half at 10.5. So we'll just score that in like so. I've got two pieces of lemon line twist, and they are 10 centimetres by 14.4. So they're for my layers, inside and out. And then I've gone to 9.8 by 14.1 for our top piece. And then I have a whole heap of bits and pieces that I've cut out using my dies. Pop them in there. So just dies and that to make on the card. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to stamp in silver. And my desk, I have to admit, is the biggest mess under the sun because I've done nothing in here. As I said, I came in here yesterday and spent very little time and then I was out. I didn't spend a lot of time in here yesterday. But it'll come back. Hi, Glenda, how are you? Right, now I'm going to get my embossing buddy, poor little thing. She's been with me for a long time. She's about seen better days. So I'm just going to, I want to emboss in silver. So I'm just making sure there's no finger marks, no yuckies. I'm going to take my Versamark, and this is photopolymer. So when it's photopolymer, don't forget to use your piercing mat. And my piercing mat, I just cover with a piece of grid paper because that allows me to colour on it, stamp off on it, whatever I need to do, will make it work. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it over to the left side, just towards the top. Make sure that Versamark adheres well to the page. I'm going to get my silver and I'm going to get a bit of paper so that I can lay this on. Put my silver on. Oh, beautiful. Just move that out of the way. And pop that. And I'll give that a wipe because I don't want little dregs of what's the name on there. So I'm just going to do this. How pretty is that stamp? It is such a lovely stamp. I just think that is so nice. So we'll just emboss that. And I think this is a stamp that you can use pretty much with any paper. So if you're making heaps of cards, and as Jacinta knows as well as I do, we make cards for our Christian Emergency Food Centre. And I must thank the people who have sent some in to me, both customers and other demonstrators, who have helped us make our 600 cards for this year. It's a huge job that we do, but one Christmas card for somebody at Christmas time with their hamper is the least we can do to make their Christmas a little bit better. Now, how pretty is that? Just so in. I might just come in a little bit, so I feel like I'm a long way away. It looks a bit better. I'll make sure I come up. That's better. So, yeah, so we got our 600 cards made, which was a little bit more than we anticipated compared to last year. But as I said, thank you to all those that helped by sending in cards. And as I said, we were happy with cards that you had made last year and you weren't going to be using, or the year before, and we've popped that on. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pick, I think they'll like that one. I'm going to pop that on the bottom. And I like that because it's got a bit of snowflake there. Now I've got a small piece of 2 bits of glimmer paper, one in Secret Sea and one in, it is supposed to be cloud covered, but it does give a silvery look. Now, I'm not worried about the length of these if they don't fit the piece of paper. And the reasoning being is I'm going to be covering one corner. So I'll just get a little bit of glue. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue along this piece. And just pop a little strip. Just like so. I was listening to the news just before about all the airline issues in America. And I was just thinking of all our fellow demonstrator friends that have gone to America for backstage. And I hope none of them have been delayed too much with flights and so forth, because it sounds like it's chaos in America. I'm just going to put the Secret Sea in the background, like so. So you see, don't throw your scraps away, because, yes, these pieces don't go all the way, but I'm going to cover it. So when I'm finished over in this corner, you're not going to see that. Being Glimmer, it does want to do its own thing. Just be patient with it. I'm probably a little impatient, trying to get it to stick. By having that little bit in between, it just breaks the darkness into the colour. So now I'm ready to make sure I've got that straight because it's still moving. That looks better. This is the problem with Glimmer. It does move and we just have to be patient. Right. Pop some glue into this piece. Now, this particular stamp set, as I said, it is such a great one because it's just on its own, it can do so much. I'm only using a small amount of paper. Basically what I'm using is scraps. And so it just goes to show that you don't need a lot of paper to make a card that is going to look really good. So what I've gone and done is I've gone and stamped and die cut the images from the delicate pines. So this is this little one, and it die cuts the centre out. So I've done this one in Old Olive. I'm wanting that over there. I've then die cut these little silver ones, and I might as well start putting them together. I think I know what I'm going to do. As I said, not being in the craft room for the last couple of weeks, just make it a bit different, but anyway. So I'm just going to put these centres together and create, it's a snowflake one, but I actually like it as it is. We don't have the snowflakes that America have, so I'll put that together. That looks, so that's going to go, I want that to go on here. And I reckon I needed another one because it looks a bit lost. So I'm going to dive down, and I knew not to put them away. I'm going to get my piece. I'll just get out one of these. That die set has so many pieces, it is unbelievable. It's 22 pieces in that set, and the number of times that I've had to go looking for them just needs one more. And I don't throw away any scrap, especially when it comes to glimmer paper, because we don't get a lot. Just cut that one out. It's a pretty little die, that one. Put that away. Okie dokie. So it just needs another one over the top because it just looked a little bit lost. Didn't look full enough for my liking. And we'll pop that, and that looks better. So I'm wanting to place this so that it's in between all those. There is a bigger one, but of course with this card the bigger one didn't quite suit. Not with the words I was using here. Had I been using something different, it would have been all right. Now you see here, I am going to put this, you can see that I'm going to put that like so, because what it does, it then hides the fact that I have got nothing going all the way. So I'm thinking of putting this like so. I did pull this another colour out just in case. I have got some pine cones, and I thought, yeah, let's put some pine cones. So I'm going to put these together, and I have cut these out of early espresso and crumb cake, and I have put on the back of the early espresso, I have got adhesive sheets. Now, if you haven't got the delicate pines and you do end up getting the bundle, just play with all the pieces because you will be surprised how they fit together. There are so many pieces, and it's such a nice set. Okay, so there's one. Whether I'll use all these is another story. I just went mad this morning and cut them out, and I thought, well, I'll have them if I need them. And if I don't, I'm bound to use them for something else. Or I keep them for the grandkids the great-grandies, and they can come and play and just stick them on to a card and have some fun. Because when the die cuts are there, they have a lot of fun with a bit of glue. And does not want to come apart, this one. There we go. Take that. And we'll pop that. Right. So as you can see, I didn't worry too much that it didn't all come out, because with the backing paper, it does lift any of the pieces that are not there. So I'm thinking I might use this colour over the top there, and I think that looks really effective. And then I thought, got these leaves that I've stamped. I'm just not sure. Just put one, oh, I like that. One there. I might just sit one like so. And then I've got some green leaves which we can then put over the top, allow that colour to come through. I think that will look really nice over in this corner. But I also would like to put some ribbon in the background before I start any of it. So I'm going to use this green. No, I've changed my mind. I think I'll use this old olive twine. Unfortunately, this one, the machine must have had a hissy fit when it was wrapping it, because it's tangled up everywhere. So I'm going to make a double bow. And just get it together. Take off the excess. And pop that like so. And it might pay if you go back down properly in there, because you didn't go in properly. That's got the knot, yep. So there's my double bow. I want that underneath it all. Actually, I'm changing my mind as I go along. How's that? I think I'm allowed. So I'm going to put a mini dimensional in the middle. I'm going to take my snowflake, my Glimmer snowflake, and put that over the top. I'm going to put mini dimensional in the middle on the back. And then I'm going to lay that into this corner here, like so. Excuse my coughing. So I reckon I'll pop those in there like so, with just a little bit of glue. So as I said, this is a really handy stamp set that you can just decorate to your own liking. Hello, Cherry. Thank you. I am glad to be back, and thank you for your well wishes too. I've appreciated everybody's well wishes while I was crook. Nothing worse than being sick, but you know, I think the doctor got sick of seeing me. I remember one day I went in there and was coughing so badly. I was fine before I went in, but the minute I went in, I could not stop coughing. And he shoved me a mask to stop coughing. There we go. I'm thinking, yep, I've got a glue dot in here and pop that right up in underneath here. So have you got the kids today, Cherry? And then I'm going to put this one with some glue over the middle. Now the question is, I wanted to use these little just thinking how to put them in. I might only need two. Just one. Yep, that'll look nice. And again, I'll just put a little bit of glue on the back of these. Cherry, I know you've got the delicate pines, and it's a beautiful set, isn't it? Just tuck them in the side. Whoops. Those, I knew I'd probably have more than I'd need, but anyway, that's okay. Now I've got a little bit of adhesive sheet behind this. Just get it to lift. You could have used glue, but I felt an adhesive sheet was a lot easier. Then I'm going to pop that in the middle there. I'm just going to put the one. Leave those others. And then I'm going to take some of these red faceted snowflakes. They don't look like a snowflake to me. They look like a star. So they're really pretty. So I'm just going to put a couple of these in. And there's the front of the card. Trim that little bit of excess ribbon off. And we'll go back. So from a simple stamp, depending on how you decorate it, you can make this card into something beautiful. Before I go any further, have to, come on, cannot do a card without some wink of Stella. So I'm just going to add a little bit of wink over the card. Come on, gotta have it, don't we? Just gives that beautiful look, just a little glitter to give it a bit of an effect. I'll get my glue. And my colouring today, I've chose the lemon lime twist because I wanted something to just pop the colour. Because the background of this is Secret Sea, which is what I'm using as my background piece. But then you've got old olive and shaded spruce and all those. But I just felt it needed something to pop. And I felt the lemon lime twist just gave it enough. Now, I've got a lot of layers on the front, so I'm not popping this piece up. And I'm just going to pop that like so. And there's the front of our card. Thank you, Glenda. It's from a simple stamp. It's how you decorate it. And I'll show you a couple more in a moment, but I'm going to do the inside. Now with this one, I've got a piece of Secret Sea Glimmer and a piece of the pattern paper. And I'm going to put them together, put them inside. And I think we might, we'll use, just thinking, no, I will do something very different. I will get my stamp. And I'm going to take some old olive and my piecing mat, and I'm going to stamp into the corner, and then I'm just going to twist it so that it's lining up with the inside without restamping. So you can see that there, how it's just created that softer look underneath. So I'm going to get some old olive, and I think I've got enough on this brush to create a little bit of colour. On the inside. Now I'm going to glue the Secret Sea Glimmer paper to the Designer Series paper. Make sure that's and I'm going to glue that to the inside. Oh, that was smart. Being impatient again. That's good. And then place that down the bottom like so. So the glimmer paper is just showing, and that piece is showing there. Get that out of the way. And then I'm just going to put some blue on the back. Now, as I said, this is a stamp set that, you know, a lot of people would have overlooked in the catalogue, but I fell in love with it because I could see, oops, nearly forgot my layer. Luckily, I hadn't pressed it down when I thought something's not right. I've got my lemon lime twist there in the middle. Making sure it's nice and straight. Thank you. Fully Tombow glue does allow you to wiggle. And we'll pop that in there. And I actually love the colour combination of lemon lime twist and Secret Sea. And there we go. There's the card. How pretty is that? Now, as I said, I did have a little play yesterday, and I made a couple using the traditions of Christmas. These two I scented a little bit more and just used a bit of dyes. So as you can see, really happy with what I've done today. as the focal point is in this corner. So depending on how, like there I've done it a lot wider. So there are 3 totally different looks on the front. And then, so this one's got that. Just put a bit of colour in there. And I've just got a little stamp design in there. Same stamp, different papers, and a totally different look. So if you've gone out and purchased this stamp and found yourself not using it, this is a great way to make cards using scraps of paper and die cuts or whatever you've got lying around. This is the way to go. So I hope you've enjoyed that. It's a quick card in the sense today, but we've got it done, and it just gives a lovely look. And even though I haven't got this Glimmer paper all the way to the end, because it's hidden, who knows? And so that's the beauty of doing it with scraps. You can make a card and make a beautiful card out of it just doing those sort of things. So it's a really simple card, really pretty, and it's something that we can do at any time. And you don't have to emboss it. You can just stamp it. It would look just as nice stamped as it would embossed. So it's a beautiful one to use, and one that I recommend, and would, if you're mass producing Christmas cards, this is another great way to do it, is to mass produce. You've got very simple, and you can just change it up by your paper and your layers of die cuts. So thank you, everyone. We've got through this, which surprised me. I didn't think I would, but I've got through it. Mind you, I've got the cough lollies and I've got the drinks and everything handy here as well. So I hope you've enjoyed today's card. It's a simple card, but a simple card that can look elegant, depending on what you'd like to do with it. So I want to say thank you very much, everyone, for watching, and I look forward to seeing you again next week, and happy crafting. Bye for now.